All right, guys, let's take a look at how to graph these exponential functions. So these types of functions, you actually cannot do, like an X and Y table and pick your X and Y values and then use them to graph it, point by point, kind of like you've done in the previous chapters. This one's going to be a little bit different. So as you can see, you have your function given to you as 3 to the X. So when you actually try to graph this, the first thing you're going to do is choose the tool that will represent, your graphing. So you can see if you click on the one on the left, that's the logarithmic tool. If you click on the right, it's the exponential tool. And it's telling you right over here which tool you have selected. So right now I've selected the logarithmic tool. If I click on the one on the right, that's the exponential tool. So this is an exponential function. You select the exponential tool. If you were in section 4.2, where you're working with the logarithmic functions, you'll of course select the logarithmic tool. So that's the first part when you go ahead and try and graph this. Now, once you have selected your exponential tool, then what you're going to do is you are going to take your mouse and you're going to click on the graph itself. And you will see as soon as you do that, it gives you a default exponential curve and it gives you this little box over here. So this pops up. So the only thing you're going to change over here is you're not going to mess around with any of these sliders. You're not going to click on any of these boxes. All you're going to do is go to the base box, erase that E, and put in the base that you have for your function over here. So you can see this is 3 to the X. So that is going to be, and I didn't put an answer, that's why it's popping up. It's going to be 3 to the X. And of course, 3 represents the base. X represents the exponent. So this is the base that we're interested in that you will need to type in for your function over here. So again, just click on the graph, the box pops up again, delete the E and replace that with the 3 because this function has a base of 3. As soon as you come back, either hit enter or click on the graph, you will see the shape of the graph is going to change. So as soon as I click, the shape of my graph is going to change slightly. So watch that. And you will see it became a little bit narrower. And then once you have that base typed in, save your answer. And then, of course, go ahead and check your answer and you will see that's how you graph these exponential functions. I'll show you one more example. The next one over here. And this one, as you can see, has a function of 28 to the power of negative X. Now, remember when you're working with negative exponents, we always put them in the denominator of 1 to make them into a positive exponent. That same rule will apply over here. So I can take that 28 to the power of minus X and put it under 1. So 1 over 28 to the power of X. Now 1 is a unique number because you can raise 1 to any exponent and the answer always comes out to be 1. Think about this. I can do 1 to the 3rd power. And that's going to be 1 times 1 times 1, which will still come out to be 1. You can do 1 to the negative 3rd power, and that will be, 1 to the power of 3, which of course is 1 times 1 times 1, which will be 1 over 1, which still comes out to be 1. So you can take the number 1 and raise it to any exponent, and it still comes out to be 1. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So once you make that into a positive exponent, you will actually rewrite this as 1 over 28 and then the whole thing to the exponent. So that actually means our base is 1 over 28 and not just the number 28 if you look at it here in the original format. So that's something you got to be careful about when you're looking at these examples. And this is going to make a difference on, when we try and graph this. So again, this guy becomes 1 over 28 and then the whole thing to the X power. So when you try and graph this, oh, okay, sorry. Let me pick a new example over here. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize I had already worked on that example before. So we have a new base over here, but it's going to be the same rule. It's going to become 1 over 13 to the power of X. So now when you try and graph this, again, start by selecting your exponential tool. So that's going to be this guy on the right side. So select on the exponential tool. Again, click anywhere on your graph and you will see that box open up. So same thing, you're only changing the base, not playing around with any of the sliders. And then just type in 1 divided by 13 and you will see it puts in the fraction. You can hit enter or click on the graph and see how the direction of your graph changed. So again, if just in case you didn't notice that, you originally had the E in there and that's what it looked like. When I change it from the E and click on the graph, look at how the direction of the graph changes. So one more time, see how that direct, because this is, going to be a decreasing function. So click save, check your answer, and you have your graph. So just to show you how to graph these functions, look at number 11 and you will notice again, whatever is the base of your function, that's what you have to type in for the base of your graph. And this will be the exact same thing when you try and work with logarithmic functions. So, keep the same rules open, change the base based on what is the base of your logarithmic function, and then you can go ahead and graph these functions out. So I hope this little video will help you guys see how to graph exponential and logarithmic functions. All right, good luck everyone, take care.